Hey guys, it's your boy Weech. I'm back today with another BANLAB tutorial. So this video is just going to be covering 3 things that you can do to level up your track. So the first thing that I want to talk about is actually the difference between using like an MP3 file versus a WAV file. The second beat I have here, this one that's highlighted, is the MP3, and then this very first top one is the WAV. Tell me if you can hear the difference. I'm actually going to put it here where the drums start. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. Let me go ahead and switch over to the other one, and let's hear that one. I can hear a clear difference, but it is subtle in some areas as well. I think the main difference is, one, it just kind of feels like the beat is a little bit more in depth, when it kind of feels like the MP3 one is a little bit more like 2D. If you listen to both of them, the difference doesn't sound like it's so big, but it goes a long way, especially when you're getting mastered. Because once you get it mastered, you will hear that's actually where you'll probably hear the biggest difference, is when this track gets mastered at the end. The second step is actually going to be on how to create a break. This is just kind of like an extra little tip, but before you record, if you will actually organize everything from the very beginning, it's a little bit easier to follow through at the end, when you want to make like last minute changes and stuff. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you this first verse. Hey, baby, ya sé qué hacer, yo estoy pa' tu placer, pero eso fue ayer. Okay, so I like to do mine on this, yeah, so I think that I'm going to go ahead and cut the break here, and let's just mess around with this for a little bit. It doesn't have to be exact. There's a little bit of room to work with. Hey, baby, ya sé qué hacer, yo mensajes quedan red. Hey, baby, ya sé. See, that doesn't sound good. You want to make sure that you find a good spot to do this break in. Let's try this. Hey, baby, ya sé qué hacer. Okay, I like this one a lot more. Okay, let me hear that again from the very beginning, and let's just see how it flows through. Hace mucho tiempo y ella no se deja ver, pero anda en la red, mis mensajes quedan red. Hey, baby, ya sé qué hacer. Okay, that was perfect. See, that you have to practice. You have to practice, and you have to. It's not just a one, you choose where and it goes. It has to make sense. Everything has to keep flowing smoothly, and that's how you find a good point in the song to make this little beat break in. So I'll usually do 2 of these little breaks during the verse, and then I'll add the last one somewhere in the chorus. So let's find somewhere else where I can do this as well. Let's hear that all together and let's see how it flows. One thing that I'm going to do real quick here is I'm going to solo this so you guys can hear it. If you hear this breathing on this. Hey, baby, ya sé que. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and just make sure I get rid of that. Let's hear that without that little break there. Hey, baby, ya sé que hace. Yeah, see, to me that sounds so much better. It's a little bit tedious, but I'm telling you, it goes a long way. You get in contact with a mastering engineer. You pay them, and then it comes back with this, and and then you go and ask them, hey, is there any way you can take these off? And they're gonna tell you, well, you're that's got to be fixed in the mix. That's not something they can mask in mastering, because mastering is not a mixing process. It's more about bringing out what's in the mix the best way. It stands out like that and you miss it and you've already paid someone, you can go fix it in the mix and then send it back to them if they're cool with it. But I also know that time is money for some of these people, especially if you're hired someone who's very limited on time, and they have to be working for many people's tracks and things. They may not, they may charge you for having to rework on your track and stuff. So this is also a good way to just save you money by doing that. We took care of the little the breathing between the vocals. We took care of doing the little breaks in here, which again I feel like that adds a little bit of depth to your song, especially when done right. If you pick a random spot and it doesn't sound good, it's not going to sound good to your audience either. So just be sure that if you do this, you're messing around, you're taking the time to figure out which one works, which one doesn't. The last thing is get this ready for mastering. It sits about right on this 8 right here, right? So whenever you send this to a mastering engineer, or if you're going to use a mastering online service or anything like that, you actually have to make sure your track stays the maximum at -6 dB, which -6 dB is about right here. We'll just say it's right here, and it sits right here. I found out that for most of my songs, staying at about that negative 14 dB will get me where I need it to be. When you send this off to mastering, your mastering engineer needs that headroom. Um, yeah, so this is where your track needs to be when you send it to them. Now, what I'm gonna do next is I'm actually going to download this track in the highest quality possible, which BandLab only allows the wave at 16-bit. I use eMastered, and the reason that I use eMastered first is this helps me figure out if everything I did in mixing was correct without having to pay somebody to tell me right that something was wrong. So I will bounce this over to eMastered once it's downloaded, and I'll start listening to it. Okay, so let's take a listen. It sounds good. I like the way the instrument sounds.
Shorty ya no ready, ya acabó de maquillarse. Puso su coche en drop a sentir todo el aire. Yo te vi a ti y tú a mí en medio baile. Después tanto tiempo de esconderte, baby, Kyle. Esta no son horas pa' buscarte, yo lo entiendo. Tiene algo nuevo y este no es un buen momento. Todo pasó rápido y se nos fue el tiempo. Solo te buscaba pa' decirte que lo siento. Esta no son horas pa' buscarte, yo lo entiendo. Tiene algo nuevo y este no es un buen momento. Todo pasó rápido y se nos fue el tiempo. Solo te buscaba pa' decirte que lo siento. Hace mucho tiempo y ella no se deja ver, pero anda en la red, mis mensajes quedan red. Ey, baby, ya sé qué hacer, yo estoy pa' tu placer, pero eso fue ayer. Baby tiene toda la noche pa' desahogarse. Sé que tiene opciones, nadie va a reemplazarme. ¿Quién te canta serenata por toda la tarde? ¿Quién te va a hacer loca, baby, con solo tocarte? Eso fue hace tiempo, baby, yo lo siento. Han cambiado muchas cosas menos sentimiento. Busco un pretexto, ey, porque estoy aquí de nuevo. Estas no son horas pa' buscarte, yo lo entiendo. Tiene algo nuevo y este no es un buen momento. Todo pasó rápido y se nos fue el tiempo. Solo te buscaba pa' decirte que lo siento. Estas no son horas pa' buscarte, yo lo entiendo. Tiene algo nuevo y este no es un buen momento. Todo pasó rápido y se nos fue el tiempo. Solo te buscaba pa' decirte que lo siento. Solo te llamaba para decirte que lo siento. Solo te llamaba para decirte que lo siento.
Okay, listen, that was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I actually wrote this song a little half-assed, just so I could film this video, but it sounds like pretty good. Like, I think with a little bit more work, I think that I can get it where I want it to be. That way that I could maybe drop this as an actual single. But anyways, guys, thanks for thanks for watching the video. If you guys like more content like this, let me know. But okay, guys, we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.